You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phone. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 25th day of June, 2019. Thanks so much for joining us, whoever you are, wherever you are. We're just glad you're right here, right now. I have up on the big screen a chart of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. This is a 30-minute chart. Let's talk about that in a second. Let's look at a daily chart first, okay? Now, if you can't see the chart, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone. Can't miss it. Follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds, and that will give you one-click access to the show going forward each and every day. That means you'll have access to the charts, to the chat box, to the discussion, all things CFRN. Now, there will be days when you're out of the office, away from the desktop, and you still want to join the show. just go to youtube.com/CFRN/live, and there you will find a live real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds each and every day, brought to you by the good folks at YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. All right. So what have we here? All right, S&P 500 Emini Futures daily chart. Now, we know that we ran into resistance 6 trading days in a row, right where we thought we would, at the price where the bearish cross, the last bearish cross, took place on the daily chart. We finally broke through, put in a new all-time historic high. Did we put in a new all-time closing high? Well, this candle right here from April 30th, we closed at 29.55. Here on June 20th, we closed at 29.58 and a quarter. What this means is we not only have a new all-time historic intraday high, but we have an all-time historic closing high. Okay. Now what? Okay, we talked about this yesterday, and we'll talk about it every day as it unfolds. The shallowest place for this retracement currently underway to take us is to the 24% Fibonacci retracement. That number, 29.12 and a half. Now, when you apply your Fibonacci retracement levels here, now again, I don't know why, but on this platform, sometimes the settings panel loads, and sometimes it doesn't. So if you double click one of your lines and you don't see all of this, you can just move on or close the platform, just reopen it, and chances are it'll load that time. Okay. Now, if you come all the way to the bottom, level value and current value. So you can display this information a number of different ways. You could just hide it all together. You could just show the price of the 24% fib, or you could just show the fact that it was the 24% fib, or you can show both, which is what I've done here. You can change the size of the text. You can change the color of the lines up here. All sorts of stuff. If you don't like the little dotted line or the dashed line, you can do something else. You want a thicker line, you can have that. You can also do this, and I don't know why you would, but hey, I guess it's good to know you could. Stick to nearest. And I don't believe I've ever used this one. I was going to show you something else. What I was going to show you was, oh, down here where it says alignment. You see where in regards to price, or the price column, price itself, and the label, we'll call it, if you switch that from near to center, well, and that would be very confusing for me, so I would not use that one. You can also go far. Why this is near and that's far, I'm not sure, but that's the way it is. And since I've already got price over here, it's a little redundant to have it right next to it, so I will just put it back where it was, near. Okay. Now, back up here, curiosity has the best of me. Stick to nearest. Open, close, close, open, low, high, high, low. Okay. You know what? That would get very confusing for most, I think. So I'm going to leave that alone. And then today, high, low. Oh, I see what that's doing. But let's not get into that right now. We'll talk about that maybe in the workshop Thursday night. I can see where that might have its place. Okay. So again, all the settings and adjustments right there. All right, so let's get rid of this for a moment. Okay. BBC. Price always reverts to the mean. Always. And in our case, the mean is the BBC. And the term BBC just simply means bull bear cross. If price crosses above the BBC, we expect higher prices. And when price pulls back to the BBC and holds, we expect higher prices. And when it pulls back and holds, we expect higher prices. Really simple. Simple by design, not by accident. When price crosses below, well, then we anticipate lower prices. And when we're below and pull back, and it holds, which it does more often than it doesn't, lower prices. When we pull back and it doesn't hold, that's considered price crossing, right? And once it closes on the other side and opens on the other side, well then, in this case, we now anticipate higher prices. So, am I saying that price is going to pull back to the BBC? I am. Why? Because price always reverts to the mean. And I think, as I just said, when dealing with our methodology, the way we see the market, the way we think when we see the market, that's just what happens. So let's take our fibs from the low to the high. Okay. And again, if we want to put the price on there, level value and current value. And if you want it to always appear like that, you just tick the little box, save as default. There you have it. 29.12. That's the 23.6%, also known as the 24% fib. As we move sideways, now, could price just fall out of bed and meet up with the 24% fib today or tonight? It could. In an orderly market, it'll probably take a couple days. By that time, the BBC will most likely be pretty close to this 24% fib. Now, when price pulls back to the BBC, which it's in the process of doing, it holds more often than it doesn't. And when it holds, what does that do? Well, that gives us a bounce, another leg. Will we go up and challenge this high? Possibly. Will we take this out? Possibly. But the thing we know with great certainty is that when we meet up with it, the highest probability thing to happen is a bounce. That's at the BBC and at a fib. So that's two things. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Two reasons why when we get to this area right here, we should see a nice bounce. Okay? So we can be ready, we can prepare. We're not going to just park an order, as some might say, and wait for it to happen. Because that's just, no, it's not how we do it. We want to see it come down, find good support, and as it begins to do what we believe is the highest probability thing for it to do, then we'll climb aboard and then we'll participate. We don't want to wait for too much confirmation because confirmation costs money. It's not free. The further you get away from the swing low, then the more risk that will be required to participate in the move. But this is something that you can learn, something that we will teach you. Okay? All right, so that's it for the daily right now. When I come back here in just a few minutes, we'll talk about this move on the S&P last night and some of the other indices. This was a great move, and to all of you that participated in it, there, that's better. That bell's for you. Let's take a look at the numbers from around the world. Got a little bit of news for you too when I come back. I have new news, and then we didn't quite finish all of the news from yesterday, so we'll work on that. And of course, we'll talk to John. And of course, we'll have answers to your questions. All right, the Dow is currently down 46 points. NASDAQ is down 51. S&P 500 is down 10.5. The Russell 2000 is actually positive. Now, worth noting, the Russell led to the downside. It seems to have found terra firma. Is it going to lead to the upside? Well, too early to say, but we will certainly keep an eye on it. Okay? All right. In the commodity basket, crude oil up 19 cents, trading 58.09 last. And gold up $15.10, trading 14.3330 last. That's a gain of a little over 1%. And I just have two words for that. Go gold. Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei was down 92 points. Shanghai was down 26. The Hang Seng lost 327 points. That's a little over 1%. In the European markets at the close, FTSE up 5.5, DAX down 46, and the CAC down 7. No movers or shakers other than the Hang Seng in foreign markets. It was a red day in Asia, a mixed day in the UK, and so far it is a mixed day here in the US with the Russell gaining a little traction, now up 1.5 points. Okay, so there you have it. Price consolidating here. That is a this week weekly trading zone. I have it on the chart. It's early. I normally don't put them out to the community at large until Thursday, but because we have such nice consolidation here, and I got a couple other things I want to show you when I come back. Well, there it is. All right. With that, let's go to Michael, get a recap of what happened in the live training room today, and I'll see you in a few. Michael, take it away.
I got it. Excuse me. Okay. We had a lot of activity today.
Nice.
Good movement in the markets. And we'll go over it all in just the next probably 5 or 10 minutes. Okay. So here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, the 25th day of June, 2019. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net, and in the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial. Apply.cfrn.net. If you click on that, it will bring you to this page where all we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number, and you can tell us your biggest trading challenge if you want to, so we can tailor the training to you. Okay. That's all we ask for. Okay. Now, the spreadsheet. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 25th day of June, 2019. Today we made 18 ticks in crude, we lost 1 tick in gold, and we made 4 ticks on the ES. That put us at plus 220 on the morning session. Took 5 minutes in one trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $120 a contract. And we took a total of 10 trade opportunities this morning. So on the month now, that puts us up 2,360. That's over 16 days, averaging 147 per day. 147 per day. Let's see. On the year, we're at 14,123. That's over 111 days, averaging 127 per day. 127 per day. Okay. Okay. Let's go through what happened or didn't happen. We missed a bunch of stuff today because I was doing a lot of training and not as much trading, but we did get a bunch of gold trades here. We had a break even on this one that eventually ran nicely. We had a break even on this one that would have been, yeah, well, it should have been a break even. And we missed this one. That would have been a break even. We missed that one. That would have been profitable. We missed that one. I'm sorry about that. That was a nice one. We picked up 1 tick on this one. We picked up 6 ticks over here on that one. And this was a bounce off the BBC. You see it bounce off the BBC and the cycle's red and going down like that. That's a high probability trade. The next one right here was one of our highest probability trade setups. And we ended up missing that one because I was talking about that one. But we picked up 6 ticks there to put us at plus 7. We had a break even on that one. We missed that, which would have been profitable. We stopped out on that one. That put us at -1 on the morning session. We missed that, which would have been a break even. And then we get into the break. Okay, and now I was not taking this trade right here because I wanted to see price get down below this level. And it did. It did in a hurry. Then it gave a shorting opportunity right in here during the break. Did not put in a lower swing. Then it changed directions and started going long. And I was just drawing these trend lines a minute ago. There are a couple more opportunities here on the long side. Okay. Now, just a minute ago, well, a few minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, there was a shorting opportunity right here to capture this little bit of a leg down. But other than that, that was the morning session. Now, the euro. The euro didn't give anything today, really. It had a couple of trade opportunities. It had this one right here and this one right here, but those are both pre-market. Okay. During the live session, it didn't give a single trade opportunity. It's in a downtrend, but there's just no opportunity to trade in this downtrend. The trade setups just aren't showing up. So we didn't do anything with the euro. Okay. Crude, of course, crude's my favorite market, and you'll see why right here. First thing this morning, we popped a trade on. I actually had a target at 10 ticks, which was the goal for the day, and I got positive slippage of 2 ticks. So we picked up 12 ticks on that first trade. I missed this short right here. Sorry about that. Yeah, there was a long right in here. This is the highest probability trade setup. Now, I don't know what I was doing that I missed it, but it was right at 10 o'clock, or right before 10 o'clock. But it pulled back, hit the BBC. Cycle stayed. The cycle was blue and above the green line, and the MA1 stayed blue. Highest probability trade setup right there. I don't know why I don't have that highlighted. All right, then we missed, 3 winning trades right in a row, and then we jumped onto the 4th one. Now, these would have been good 10, 12 tick trades. This one, we picked up 6 out of 8 possible ticks. That put us at plus 18 on the morning. We missed that one, which would have been profitable. That one. and that one. This would have been profitable, this break even, and we grabbed a break even right there. Now, during the break, there was a shorting opportunity. This is the head and shoulders pattern. This is a head, this is a shoulder, this is the other shoulder. There was a shorting opportunity off the BBC right here that gave about 8 ticks, it looks like. There was another one right here, but actually it wasn't, because we had dynamic support that had not been broken. Okay. You can't take momentum trades going into dynamic support or resistance. Right? The only time dynamic support and resistance come into play is on momentum trades. And so you can't take momentum trades when they are there. All right. And on the ES, we had just one trade right here, and we took a break even on it. There was another one earlier right here that would, I'm sorry, we took 4 ticks on this one. There was another one earlier right here that was, that would have been a break even trade had we had taken it. There were a couple that we missed early on. You know, I was busy with the crude when this happened right here. Bounce off the BBC, and you see the MA1 stayed red and the cycle stayed red. Highest probability trade setup. That was an awesome trade right there. It was followed up by that one and that one. And I think I was talking about how I missed that one when that one and that one came together. It was all pretty quick. Yeah, and let's see, during the break, you know, then it got stuck in the zone, and it was just trapped in the zone for a while. Still is, really. And that was it for the ES this morning. Yep, that was it. Okay, so back to this. Okay. Let's go back this way. All right. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 25th day of June, 2019. And today we made 18 ticks on crude. We lost 1 tick on gold, and we made 4 ticks on the ES. That put us at plus 220 on the morning session. I missed probably like 10 times that. But anyway, we took a total of 5 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day today. At that point, we're up 120 a contract. And we took a total of 10 opportunities this morning. So on the month now, we're at 2,360. That's over 16 days, averaging 147 per day. 147 per day. On the year, we're at 14,123. That's over 111 days, averaging 127 per day. 127 per day. Okay. Go back here. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. Click on that, and you will be brought to this page, where all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. Hit the send button, and you'll be sent all the information you need to get into our free 5-day luxurious free trial. Okay, that's all you have to do. All right, and with that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, South Mountain, overlooking, Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
By there we go. All right. Firing on all cylinders. Recap of the recap.
Today it took 5 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we were up $120 per contract.
And that's a good bingo.
It is.
Sure
It is indeed.
Okay. Do we have any news out today? Do we have any news out today?
Yeah, we did have news out. What do we have? Oops, not that one. Sorry, this one. We had, let me refresh it. We had This morning we had HPI come out, double what was expected. That's a low impact, but the S&P Composite 20 HPI came in as expected. That's year over year, but it came in as expected. Richmond Manufacturing Index came in about half of what was expected. Consumer confidence came in lower than expected. Consumer confidence was the high impact one. New home sales came out 626,000. They're expecting 686,000, but they revised last month. So, who knows
Upward or
if there's
downward?
gonna be a revision. Upward.
Upward. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And this afternoon at 1 p.m., coming up here at 1 p.m., Powell's going to be speaking.
Where's he speaking at? What does it say?
About the economic outlook and monetary policy at the Council on Foreign Relations, New York. Audience questions expected.
Well, guys,
So-
does it give it a high impact?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Okay. And are you taking off? John's going to be in a little bit. I just spoke to him, but he's not here yet. He had
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
big
be-
storm and a power outage last night, so he's getting everything back online.
Yeah, we had a huge storm too.
Did you?
Last night. Yeah.
It's been fairly pleasant here. Guys, up on the screen, there's a question. Are you trading in the zone, or are you still searching for the Holy Grail? I know Michael just told you how to take our trial. I just want to reiterate. Successful Emini traders understand this is a business based on probabilities. It's not who can run the fastest, jump the highest, or lift the most. And that's what everyone thinks, and that's where everyone's trying to crowd through that same door. And that's a door that just leads to nowhere. Because everybody thinks, because of the Wall Street propaganda, that there's some kind of way, some indicator, some oscillator, some man or machine that can tell you the future. And God says, no, that's not how I built things. So you have to ask yourself the question, can you know what will happen next? Now, I didn't say, do you know what will happen next? I said, can you know? In other words, maybe there is a way, you just haven't figured it out yet. Well, successful E-mini traders understand it's impossible to know what will happen next. God said so. It's just the way He created this world. Now, if you can't know what will happen next, should we just all pack up and go home? Not at all. Because there's a thing called the high probability edge. Successful E-mini traders do know what the next high probability move is. Michael just extended a free trial to you, and so I ask would you like to know what the next high probability move in the market is? If your answer is yes, then accept Michael's offer and get after it. Take that trial, spend 5 days in the room, listen to Michael as he teaches the methodology. Now think about that. Before you pay any money, you don't even have to put a credit card on file. You come in, he's going to spend 5 days treating you just like he would treat any of our other traders. He'll answer your questions, explain everything, and we encourage you to download our indicators and put them through their paces for the full 5 days. I don't know too many places that will teach you their methodology and let you use their proprietary indicators for free for 5 days so that you can make a well-informed decision as to whether or not what we do is right for you. Trading's not easy, but since 2005, Michael and I have both worked very, very hard to make it simple just for you. You can reach this page by going to eminitrainingschool.com/apply. If you're tired of gimmicks, if you're looking for consistent results, if you want to read your chart like a newspaper, please try our High Probability Edge for free. 5-day trial, live training. Get the high probability edge you deserve. And all you got to do is just fill out this form. Okay? We'll provide you for the next 5 days with everything a trader needs. No guesswork. Bulls or bears. Our indicator I just showed you, with that one indicator, the VVC, we know clearly who is in control in any market in any time frame. That's actually pretty powerful information to have. Would that help you? What we do is simple to understand. Drop dead simple. We've even color-coded things for your convenience. When the two indicators are both blue and climbing, pretty good idea to be long. And when they're both red and falling, you don't have to be short, but you don't want to trade against that. You don't want to be long. Now, our partners and passport holders have access to unlimited one-on-one private mentoring. This way, going forward, you're never alone again. And trading can be a lonely business. While you're on the trial, you can book one free 45-minute session. Ask any questions, we'll give you the answers. You can book it with me, you can book it with Michael. If you want to split it up and go 20 minutes in each direction, yeah, you could even do that. Also, during the trial, get with me and I'll talk to you about the Logic 247 live Emini alerts. This is our around-the-clock 24/7 service. Now, let me say this. We're going to show you how to do what we do. Different people takes a different amounts of time to really get your arms and your mind wrapped around it. So as we're teaching you how to do exactly what we do, Logic 247 is going to make sure you have a never-ending stream of high probability opportunities around the clock showing up on your phone, on your desktop, on your tablet, wherever you choose to receive the information. During your week, you'll also have access to the weekly trading zones. This will become your personal roadmap should you become a partner or passport holder. We have published the weekly zones every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern since December 14th of 2009. I know many traders who would not even think of approaching the market and putting on a position without this information. Now, once we publish the zones on Monday morning, we don't change them, we don't massage them, we don't manipulate them. They're carved in stone for the entire week. Everything I just said applies to all markets, all time frames. S&P 500, the Dow, NASDAQ, crude, gold, soybeans, the Russell, copper, euro, British pound. What we do, what we will teach you to do, is fluid across all markets and all time frames. So by all means, do go to eminitrainingschool.com/apply, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning in the room. Okay, I'm going to pull this down, and I want to show you what just happened here. What was the daily double today, Michael?
Today, the daily double was, which one? The crude or the ES? The ES was the short. Short 23.95. 23.95.
29.35?
No. Oh, yeah, 29.35. Sorry.
Did I type it wrong, or did you read it wrong?
No, I read it wrong.
Okay.
I read it wrong.
29.35, and the final target was?
And the final target was 29.29.
29.35. Target 29.29. Okay. Okay, and that would be right here. Now, if we reach the final target, I don't see no reason why we wouldn't, that would be a 6-point move in the S&P 500 Emini Futures. What I really want you to take a close look at, we were just talking about those weekly trading zones. Okay, as price came down on this alert here, which I'll talk to you about in a second, we're falling pretty good, and then we hit the weekly trading zone. Now remember, partners and passport holders had this number and all the other numbers for all the markets yesterday morning in their inbox, 6:15 a.m. Eastern, before Wall Street wakes up, so that they have an opportunity to get everything on their chart and they're ready to go. Okay, we hit the zone and we consolidate for, these are 30-minute candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we had a little here, call it 5, so it's about 2.5 hours of consolidation. Here is the opening candle right here, this big red one, first 30 minutes of the day session. Okay, now Logic 247 works all night, around the clock, around the globe, around the clock. Okay, last night we sent out, I published an alert, a Logic 247 alert, said to consider being short 29.51, target 29.46. That is a 5-point move in the S&P 500 Emini Futures. Price continued down and dropped 8 points total on this move. Now, important prices in important areas are almost always tested. That is one of our fundamental beliefs. It is part of the very foundation upon which we stand and trade. This is not unusual. This is not an anomaly. This is something that our traders see each and every day. We trigger, we hit the target. A little bonus for someone who wants to trail. Price comes back. Prior to the open, we put in a swing high, 29.53, during the 9 to 9:30 30-minute candle. Wall Street opens, and well, as you can see, the market dropped like a rock. In the first 30 minutes, we went from this trigger at 29.51 down to the target at 29.46. We sailed past the previous swing low, and in the initial 30 minutes, we got all the way down to 29.40 and a half. So basically 10 points. And then a retracement. Next candle, we hit the zone where we began that consolidation. So from 39 to 51, so it's about 12 points. Sounds about right. So a 5-point drop, 5 points from entry to target. We dropped 8 points. And then here, another 5-point move to the target. But of course, we continued on, and we keep on keeping on. Okay. See how price is coming back to 29.35? See? Important prices in important areas are almost always tested. If you never become a partner and you never become a passport holder, please let the one thing you take away from this radio program, your experience with CFRN, the love of Jesus, number one, and number two, important prices and important areas are almost always tested. I don't care what methodology you use, that knowledge right there if you believe it with your heart and not your head, it will bless your socks off, okay? Now, the only way you're going to believe it with your heart and not just your head is you're going to have to watch for it. You're going to have to track it. You're going to have to journal it. And at some point, it will simply become how you believe. When that happens, your trading is going to change for the better forever. Watch and see, okay? Now, this isn't proprietary. I don't hold a patent or a trademark on this because it's an idea. You can't kill an idea. You can kill the person who originally thought of the idea, but once it's out there, and this, any day, any market, you can see this play out again and again and again. Okay. So is the best any of our traders was the best they could do on this move? Let's see, what are we down to now? 29, we'll call it 29.30, call it 29.31, because that makes it easy to calculate back to 29.51. So after the consolidation, we've now dropped 20 points. Well, should people stay in until the daily double target? Well, if that's the end of the move, that would probably be a good idea. Let's take a look at this. Now with Logic 247, every alert comes with a target, often multiple targets. However, on an extended move, which is what we have here, why would you get out of a perfectly good trade? Now think about it. You spend a lot of time watching these markets, patience and discipline. The stars align. Well, not really the stars, but our indicators show you the entry. The alert comes through on your phone, on your tablet, on your desktop. You get into the position. Things are going swimmingly well. And of course, our natural instinct is once we have a little green on the screen, man, we want to grab it and go. We're like pirates, smash and grab. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? It's really dependent upon your plan, your business plan, and your trading plan. Okay? If your business plan and trading plan is pirate in nature, smash and grab, smash and grab. Just make sure you follow your plan, whatever it is. If your plan says, I'm going to stay with the move, an extended move, until the chart tells me otherwise, well then, do that. These are not decisions that you make in the middle of a trade. These are decisions that are made before you ever enter. All right, what are we looking at here? Trigger, target, and price just sailed right through the target. The average swing, the S&P 500 Emini Futures, under normal conditions, 3 to 5 points. Once we exceed 5 points, well then that becomes what we refer to as an extended move. Okay? On an extended move, the chart will tell you when that swing is running out of steam and is either headed into a retracement or potentially a reversal. If you have a look up here, remember I said 5 points, 3 to 5 points, average swing, S&P 500 Emini Futures under normal conditions. So 51 to 46, well, there's your 5, but we already discussed it went 8. Okay. Now, when the move is running out of steam, price will start to walk sideways. Again and again, over and over, it's what price does. You can even see it up here a little bit. You know, not really much of an extended move, but enough. See how it walks sideways? Okay. Walking sideways. What you're watching for here is when the step line, this is the black line here, when the step line crosses over a red CFMA1, You are looking for the first green candle that closes above the step line after it crosses. Now, this exit signal is not that great because the exit signal here printed at 29.4675. So the actual target on this alert was better than the exit signal. Here's the deal. When you wait for the exit signal, you can picture if this candle had been green instead of red, but it's red, but this closed at 44.25. So you see that would have been a better exit price. But in this case, it wasn't. When you're using the exit signal, when you're waiting for it to print, one thing to keep in mind is you don't ever want to exit the trade at a price less beneficial than the target. So here, as price is coming back up through the target, you could have taken an exit right here at 46. Now, we were below. Now, everybody says, well, why didn't you just get out down there? Well, down there is a nebulous thing. This is a swing low, leg, retrace, swing low, but you don't know it's the swing low until after the fact. Over here, we do not have an exit signal yet. Okay? Now, I'm talking about this alert here. Down here, this is a separate alert. This was issued this morning, shortly after 11 a.m. Eastern, to all of our partners and passport holders. We'll deal with this one, when we get there. But before that happens, we're going to watch, you see here, as price consolidated at the weekly trading zone, we were looking for the step line to cross the red CFMA1, just like it did right here. And then, because this is a short move, we would look for the first green candle to print. Okay? Now, think about this. The entry, 29.51, same as it was here. Hard target, 29.46, same here as here. And we already discussed that's a 5-point move. Well, the current move underway, we're at 29.31 and a half. So basically, this is a 20-point move, and we don't have an exit signal yet. Prior to getting an exit signal, unless we have a V-bottom, and we just don't see too many of those, when this move runs out of steam, price will start to walk sideways like it did here, like it did here, like it did here. When the step line crosses and we get a green candle, boom. That's where we will look to exit. Now, do you have to wait for the exit signal? No, absolutely not. This is discretionary trading, so you can do anything that you want to do. You can enter where you want, you can exit where you want. We're just pointing out what to us, per our methodology, is the next obvious thing, the next high probability thing for the market to do. Now, we say obvious because we have a special lens through which we see the market. Of course, that lens is something that we will share with you during your trial, and it's a lens that you will own if you become a partner and a passport holder. So, it was a great night to be a CFRN trader, whether you were running logic or simply using the indicators on your own. I mentioned this before. We teach you, as a partner and a passport holder, we teach you to do exactly what we do, to see what we see, to think the way we think. Now, different people, it will take different amounts of time to fully wrap your mind around it. So the good news is while you're learning, you don't have to go hungry because you have these dropping out the end of the pipe. The pipeline, there's almost always something in the pipeline. Global markets, round the clock. The next one to come down the pipe might be the Dow. It could be copper. It could be the euro. I post the opportunities as they present themselves. And when we don't see opportunity, there's nothing to alert. From 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern on Friday, we are searching these markets around the globe, around the clock. If that sounds like something that would be beneficial to you, again, I can't encourage you enough, just take the trial. No credit card, won't cost you a dime, but at the end of 5 days, you will be able to make a well-informed decision. Now, look what just happened as I was speaking. We just dropped to 29.29. That was the target for the daily double, which dovetailed right into the alert that was put out last night. Okay. So now we are at we got a swing low here, 29.27. Okay. So 51 minus 27. So 24-point move so far at $50 per point. That's $1,200 per contract traded. $1,200 per contract traded. Now that's what the market made available. What we made available was an entry, a target, our weekly zones, and the reasoning behind it, okay? It's very important that you understand it's not about you feeding off logic. It's about you learning how to use logic. You'll be able to look at any market, any time frame, and see exactly what we see. We still have no exit signal. 24-point move so far. Now, I already shared with you that this is a weekly trading zone, 38.39. So where did this move come from? Well, you know what? Let's take a look. I realize it's only Tuesday, but it seems appropriate. So, weekly trading zone overhead, 29.55 slash 29.56. Okay. Now, I've told you for a long time, I've really been trying to impress it upon you of late. Price is always looking for a zone. Always. Price is always trying to get to a zone. Either the one overhead or the one below. As you hone your skills and are able to use what we teach you to understand where the chart tells you price is headed, the chart tells you which zone price is trying to get to. When you understand that, that makes this all possible. Only 3 things can happen at a weekly trading zone. The most likely thing to happen is what you see right here. Consolidation. And sometimes consolidation will look like this. And sometimes it will look like this. Either way, it's consolidation. Only 3 things can happen. This is the most likely. Now, the second most likely thing to happen is rejection. I don't have a clear-cut example right here on this chart. So let me demonstrate. All right. Let's say it's not, but let's say, let's say that 29.52 was a weekly trading zone. We'll just say 52.53. You see how price came up. In fact, let me give you the full effect. Could have just drug those other ones down. Couldn't I? Yeah, I could have. All right. Price is rising. We know what happened. This swing was over. Price started to walk sideways. Step line crossed the red CFMA1. Now, that tells us we're headed into a retracement or reversal. Okay? In order for it to become a reversal, on the retracement, price would have had to get above this weekly trading zone. But price walked right up to it, touched it, and ran in the other direction. Over here, you see how price just set on a zone, set on a zone, set on a zone? This is like somebody touched a hot stove and snatched their hand back. Whoa. Yeah, it's hot, right? That's rejection. Only 3 things can happen at a weekly trading zone. The most likely, consolidation. Second most likely, rejection. And, number 3, the slice. Okay? I don't have an example of the slice here, but work with me. Let's say this little rectangle I'm drawing, let's say that was a weekly trading zone. Okay? Picture it as just 2 lines like this. Price comes down to the zone and it slices through it like it wasn't even there. That's the least likely thing to happen. Only 3 things can happen: consolidation, rejection, and the slice. Here's the slice, slices right through the zone. Then what? Well, the high probability thing to happen after a slice is for price to pull, in this case, if it's sliced to the downside. When the slice runs out of steam, it will pull back up to the zone, confirm that it is now going to be good resistance, and a continuation of the move in the direction of the slice. Leg, retracements, leg. That makes sense? If you have any questions about any of this, please put it in the chat box. Be more than happy to answer the questions for you. Consolidation, rejection, the slice. Having that information at the beginning of the week, knowing where these zones are, knowing that price is always trying to get to one of them, it's pretty powerful knowledge. Okay. Once price left this zone and price got below the BBC, what do we always say? Price is below the BBC, we anticipate lower prices. Certainly what we got. And we went from zone to zone. Right here, price got above the BBC, But we also understand what a head fake is. If you don't, book a mentoring session. I'll certainly be happy to explain the concept to you. Okay? Right here, I'm not sold. Okay? We get above the BBC, but do we hold the pullback? No. Head fake. You will be trained to understand this, watch for this, wait for this, and you'll know what to do when it appears on your screen. Okay? So once price consolidated gap below the BBC around 29.53, we knew that the high probability thing for the market to do at that point, it's what the chart's telling us the market wants to do, is to go to this zone down at 39. So 55 minus 39, yes, that's 16 points. So hopefully you've seen here 9 ways to Sunday how you too can skin an Emini cat. Don't tell Betta. No, we love cats. No felines were harmed in the filming of this explanation. So, all right, Jean should be about here. Valerie, have you seen him? Told him I'd wait, but I can't wait forever. Guess Valerie's not there either.
He's in.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Okay.
John, welcome to the show. And I better jingle his phone. I guess you opened yours. Oh, hey, there you are. How are you?
Hi there, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Well, tell you what, we kind of nailed it. I saw it go to 14.42 yesterday. I put out a tweet to sell. We actually had a pre-sell there. I told everybody to get out of their gold stocks at the opening this morning, i.e. the heavily traded gold stocks, not the investment gold stocks. And I also said there would probably be a first dip. There'll be a retest of 1440, which there was a while ago, and now we're only down. We're only up $6 on the gold after being up
14.
Exactly. So the correction has begun by the looks of it. It's hard to say. We could go all the way down to 1375. I think. Without too much damage. We might hold 1425. More likely, we'll probably hold 1425 about where we are right now. Unfortunately, the two things that I mentioned yesterday, the silver and the platinum, are not, and the copper even, are just, the copper ran up this morning. It's getting hammered again. And also the grains are coming back. So, the gold supportive elements are weakening, with the one exception being the coffee, which hit 107.5 this morning. So this coffee is really pretty perky. This is about.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Thanks. That just came out. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway,
That's good.
It kind of looks like it's making higher highs and higher lows now, so it's definitely a buy dips situation.
Now you say you're on coffee?
Yeah.
Bring up a coffee chart.
And they just came out and said that coffee's going to help you lose weight or something. So.
Oh my goodness, really? Yeah, one day it's going to kill you, and the next day it's going to make you superhuman. It's these studies and all this. Hey, do you see that new electric car? I know that's off topic. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute. Let me just bring up this coffee chart. But I wanted to mention it before I forget it.
Oh, at the Grand Prix, I'll have to get a clip of it. Maybe you can find it at the French Grand Prix on Sunday rather. They had one of this jetpack guy, who's actually French, was flying around with the cup with the trophy in his hand, and he actually kind of flew around the circuit. It was pretty impressive,
Really?
Yeah.
trying to show. Here we go. You ever heard of the light year?
I heard. I think it rings a bell. What happened?
Light year 1. Well, some kids who won.
Yeah, I saw a flash of that just recently.
Light year 1 is a solar car with a range.
450 miles is a pretty good range.
Yeah, it beats the whatchamacallit.
There's another one out there that I mentioned on the show a while back that's giving Tesla a run for its money.
Tesla, yeah.
It can do, the thing about it is it can charge in 5 minutes.
Wow, that's really good. Well, see, this one, the hood, there's solar panels built in. Huh. But they're kind of like those things on a bullfrog that you've heard about. A Dutch company's debuted a solar vehicle that can travel 725 kilometers, 450 miles on a single charge. Yeah, it was developed by these kids or these young folks from Eindhoven University. They won some big prize a couple years ago. The company behind the vehicle was founded in 2016, which has won a number of solar-powered car races with what is considered the world's first family car, powered by solar energy. But here's the problem. From the 5 square meters of solar panels alone, which are mounted on the roof and hood, it charges at a rate of roughly 12 kilometers per hour, which is not enough to wow the average driver, but it's worth noting that the vehicle can also be juiced through the usual EV charging stations, including 60 kilowatt fast charging, which will get the car up to 507 kilometers range in an hour. That's a pretty good exchange, 507 kilometers for an hour of charging. You can also charge at up to 400 kilometers overnight from standard domestic 230 volt sockets. The solar panels can charge the car while it is stationary, but they also boost power while on the move. During a 4-hour drive, the Lightyear 1 should accumulate nearly 50 kilometers worth of extra juice, and if the driver pulls over for lunch, the vehicle will keep charging. So the fact that it's got solar on board, it can charge itself. You might be better just putting solar panels on your house and getting free electricity there, and you just plug your car in at night and charge it up that way. But it's a nice looking car. It's sporty.
They actually unveiled an electric plane a few days ago. I think Airbus, somebody somewhere over in Europe, and I think it has a range of about 250 miles, something like that.
Look at the price tag on this, $135,000.
Crazy.
Loaded, 170. 100 units have already been reserved. First cars won't ship until 2021. Okay, now tell me about this. It's electric plane.
Electric plane just got unveiled.
Okay. Any of this look familiar?
I think the left-hand one is talking about it. That looks like the one.
Okay, let's take a peek. Aviation's 9-seater electric aircraft Alice was a hit at the Paris Air Show.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah.
Israeli firm will carry 9 passengers up to 650 miles.
It's an incredible range. Jeepers. Look at that.
Yeah, it really is. Well, the world is a-changing. It really, really is. Speaking of the world and change, I brought up that coffee chart. We never really talked about it, but I can see it looks very bullish. Yeah, I can see
it's really turning very bullish. I mean, if you look at it, what does it remind you of? It kind of reminds you of soybeans about it.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
1,000 points ago, I think, 100 points ago. It also reminds you a little bit of gold as well, kind of going.
Yeah.
See that first consolidation starting to look like the next leg up. Starting.
Oh yeah. Right here, boom. And this is with no China deal. I don't even know if we have a China deal on the horizon anymore.
It kind of looks more constructive. I'm pretty sure they're going to. There's a lot of elements flying around right now, including this. Well, we had a 12,000 target, remember, on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So
now I'm still looking for that pullback to take us back below 10,000. Give
Yeah, I
everybody,
think it's going to
give
run.
everybody, a big
It's the same
fright.
way as the gold run into problems at 1440. I think this is going to run into problems at 12,000, and it's probably going to have a pretty sharp pullback. May not go down to 8,000. Probably going to might hold at about 9,000, 9,500.
Yeah, it looks like good support.
'Cause,
But getting
I mean,
that psychological move back below
what's-
10,000 will freak a lot of people out.
This is actually about the fastest rise that Bitcoin's ever had. So
Yeah,
it's
and that aligns up with what I've been saying, that I think this move from 10 to 20,000, instead of taking, months or weeks, this thing gets underway. It could literally happen in days because FOMO sets in. 10,000 is such a big psychological barrier. Everybody's lamenting how they've missed the boat yet again. And so everybody gets, everybody tries to pile into the clown car at once. And we could see 12,000, we could see 20,000 by next week. I'm not predicting that. It's not a forecast.
Yes.
I'm just saying it could happen because this thing is moving around the clock, 7 days a week, while we sleep, all that and more. So,
wow, we just went negative on gold. Look at that. So,
did we really?
and the silver. So look, this silver is a real problem. And as I said yesterday, before this, I said, I was concerned about the silver because it looked like it had a three-wave. It's actually had a perfect three-wave rally off the lows, and it now could potentially come back, and it could come back, a good ways down.
I see it coming back to 1430.
Yeah, that's exactly the number. Yeah, I mean, it could be and that would, probably mean we're going to have a sharp pullback in the gold too. But the palladium's continuing to hold up. And remember, with the silver.
Sorry, John, I'm at 1402.
Yeah, you could have, you could have just, maybe we'll test the 15.
That's a
15
weekly
on the
zone
silver.
right there, 14/15, and then below that's 0102.
Yeah, then we could go again. If we hold the 15 and start going back up, then the silver could go like a bat out of hell. So you've got to be ready for that. And again, the platinum is just terrible. It can't get out of its own way. And actually, I said, unless it goes above 820, don't touch it. And right now, it's coming off again. So, we come down to 780, somewhere like that, 760 even, and then maybe finally reverse. Could even come down a bit more. But I think beyond that, these metals are going to go crazy. So it's really coming, just using your mantra about important prices are always tested. That looks like it's going to happen with all of these things, and that's going to provide the next entry point for people who missed the first up leg. Same way as Bitcoin coming back will give people at least a reasonable re-entry point.
Right.
The market,
if they see it as that, unfortunately,
Yeah.
some will.
Yeah, it's funny because we did make a comparison a few days ago to October the 2nd in terms of the failure swing, negative divergence top that we just made in the stock market last week. And, sometimes it takes a few days for the market to break down, but it is doing that right now. And so because it made a similar top to October the 2nd, you have to be mindful of the possibility that we could be in for something much worse than this, just what's happening today. However, given the G20 and other factors going on, there's a possibility that they're going to meet. Trump may have to give up a few things to get a deal with China.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly with North Korea at the same time, kind of kill two birds with one stone. That would be a huge win for him if he can do that. So you never know. I'm pretty sure if he sees a deal in sight that he's probably going to go for it, even if it's not 100% of what he wants.
I really do believe that he has the best interest of the American people at heart.
Uh-huh.
I don't think. I know there's a little bit of a power issue with him, but he's got plenty of power, so I think he's okay with that, and he's got money. I really think, more so than a lot of the presidents we've seen in our lifetime, he really is trying to do what's best for America.
For sure.
They all say that.
And more and more people are figuring that out. I mean, you know, you can go around with your head in the sand all day, or a dunce cap on your head, and try to be you know, negative all the time. But I'm telling you, the number of Democrats who are abandoning their party and going Republican is huge. And you remember, look, he's created 6 million jobs. That's potentially 6 million votes.
Yeah.
He's got the most of the military and the police behind him, because he always speaks favorably of them, and nobody else has in the past. So, you know, at the end of the day, when they get in the voting booth, there's a lot of people, you know, who are probably going to vote for Trump at the end of the, you know, in the final moments. Mm-hmm. And it could even be people like Larry Page and
wow.
Bryn, you know.
Wouldn't that be
well,
a kick in the
and
pants?
why wouldn't they? They double or triple their money. They're not that stupid, you know.
Yeah.
They're going to vote some clown like Bernie Sanders in, you know.
Hey, that Tim just reminded me of something, John. That plane we were just looking at, the electric plane, Aviation. They're coming to Prescott. Prescott, the mile-high Arizona town of about 42,000 residents, known all over as a premier destination for would-be pilots and aviation sci-tech engineers and innovators. This company, Aviation, is coming. The Israeli tech company took notice of the position Embry-Riddle holds in the aviation tech industry and chose the surrounding area as the ideal place to plant its international flag. Aviation will open an office at the former Guidance Aviation building located at the Prescott Municipal Airport this month. Now, what's the date of this? This is dated last year. Tim, did they already make the move? I'm assuming they must have, because this press release is from last year. But they're already there. Tim, what are they doing there? Do you have any idea? Let me just bring up the company. Aviation.com. Did I spell that wrong? Tim says they're already building planes. Oh, it's .co. Okay. There we go. There we go. Building the future. Nice. Nice website. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Now, Tim, this is privately owned. This is not a public company, right? You know Tim, right, John? Yeah, you do. Okay, all right. Let's see, what else we got here? We've covered all of that. What else you want to look at?
The oil is very strong today. Again, in spite of the market, it's very strong, I think. You've seen that?
Yeah. In fact, let's see. We were looking for a move today on the daily double for crude. I think we had an up move on tap.
That natural gas had a big rebound too. That recent we talked about, yeah.
Yeah, we were looking for a move from 58.20 to 58.40, and then from 58.40 up to 58.60. So it's still underway. We'll see what happens. And last night on the Concierge Trade Alert for crude, we're holding out to 58.50 to get long there, and looking for a move from 58.50.
It's more the products, I guess. The gasoline. The gasoline is up a lot because of that refinery thing in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Right.
That blew up. So the gasoline, the heating oil are up quite a bit.
Now it looks like the S&P may have found what it was looking for.
That's what I was going to say.
It
would look. I think this is probably just going to be a short-term pullback on the S&P, especially now that the gold's pulling back. It's sort of sometimes the market goes up when the gold pulls back. So feels like what's going on.
And let me point out to the audience, guys, you see how we went down, we hit this target at 29.29, and then we came right back up to the trigger at 29.35, just like we did up here last night. You just saw it happen right here, live in real time. Important prices and important areas are almost always tested. We very well will get another leg back down to the 29.29, and then that could be the low, at least for today. We have a weekly zone. I've already put them out, most of them in the S&P, so let's just do this. 29.26/27. Zones are in area. But again, I think we come back down one more time to test this. That looks to be the high probability thing. You agree, John?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So there you have it, guys. Now, it's long
the
as
other thing
go
is
ahead.
the dollar. Remember, we said the dollar might rally a bit, and that's going on. How much we rally on the dollar is very critical, because we don't really want to go above 96.5, and preferably not above 96. So.
I'm gonna bring up a dollar chart here. Hey, have you watched that show on Showtime? It's in the second or third season. It's called Billions.
You know what? I never got into that show. Just don't have the time.
Yeah, no, I understand, but it strikes a chord. I enjoy it.
Good show.
I like it. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. Okay, DXY. All right, there's the dollar on a daily.
Yeah, it's actually had a three-wave pullback here, so that's something to be a bit careful of. It could mean there's another leg still to the upside on this dollar. To what extent, we don't know yet, but hasn't broken enough to write it off completely.
The fact that the market just put in a new all-time historic high, S&P. How do you think that colors what the Fed sees as far as lowering rates at the next meeting?
I think the fact that the gold is going up, whether out of fear of some bank failure or something like that, I think what we've been talking about on the show, which is the Fed probably doesn't realize how much damage it's done just by what appears to be, modest half a dozen increases or so, or more over the last, Trump's right. Listen, we've been reporting on this for ages. The first casualties were the $100 million homes, and then going down, all these homes that were being discounted, from 40 million to 30 million and so on, was the beginning of the effect of these higher rates. And London, home prices in London have crashed, almost a lot of them. It's a combination of things. The Russians, getting poorer and skipping town and having visa problems and things like that. So we're starting. The economy has some weakness. That's growing amount of weakness all over the place, with a few pockets of continued growth and strength, which has kept the ship more or less on even keel, and really continuing to run at 2 to 3% or so. But the Fed are highly likely to lower rates now, especially since Jerome Powell doesn't want to be demoted or fired. And I think that the impact, look, on the threat of a rate cut was enough to push gold up $100 in just a week or so. Mm-hmm. A real rate cut would probably push it up another 200, and the market is going to go to new highs. There's more and more articles starting to come out about Dow 30,000 and I think that that's becoming more likely. Actually, I think a couple of rate cuts will seal the deal on a Dow hitting 30,000 sometime in 2020, maybe even sooner, maybe even before the end of the year. And remember, we're still in a pretty strong up leg. I mean, compared to 87, we are technically a stronger market right now. We're not going at a breakneck speed, 30% up from May to August, but we've got an extra month up our sleeve potentially. We're only at the end of June, so we've got July, August, September. We could still have a 3 months runaway move to the upside in this market. And by the way, the semiconductors look like they're rebounding, and even the mid cap is starting to get a bit of support here, which kind of led the way down. So, if this is just a kind of a pause that refreshes, this market could really soar in the coming weeks. On the back of some kind of look, these G20 meetings are usually they come out with these communiques at the end of them. The one that they didn't was the one when they had that bust up in Canada, if you remember. That's kind of ancient history right now. So the likelihood of them putting out a very positive communique to kind of restart world growth from this, after this meeting is, I would say, highly likely, and it's probably going to have a big impact on the markets. And these G20 meetings, they're very, most of them are pretty bullish. So usually the market, sometimes it rallies into them, and sometimes it rallies, during them, and sometimes it rallies after them. But almost always you get a pretty big rally either side or during a G20 meeting.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we'll talk about this tomorrow. There's some articles I've been reading. Some of the stuff that, are supposedly our allies, Germany and the UK and different, they're making deals behind our back. When we try to take a stand and do the right thing, they're not, they don't have all their cards on the table. So. But I don't want to launch into it until I have a chance to just research it a little more.
That might change soon, I think. Yep. So, well, listen, we've actually just put in even the gold's rebounding dramatically. It's just rebounded $10 while we
look at
the last few minutes.
Yeah, came right down to that 50% fib retracement on this last leg up on the 30-minute.
Yeah. So this is quite constructive, actually.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, it's kind of what I said about the silver too. The silver, because if the silver breaks out about 1540, 1550 here, it's probably going to have a new leg up, and it's going to be more vertical. It's going to be a real run for the roses, potentially up to 18, and that would coincide with about a 1575 target on the gold. So just like I said yesterday, if gold exceeds 1440 meaningfully, it might consolidate a bit here, but once it starts taking out 1450, I think there is going to be at least $100 further move upside, maybe 125 move from there right up to 1575. And if we get up to 1575, I mean, we're going to, they're probably going to be pushing to get it to 1700 to get it to Paul Tudor's number.
Step right up, folks. Get your junior miners here. That's right.
Yeah. So, listen, have a great afternoon. Thanks very much
John.
for the invite, and we'll see how we go tomorrow.
All right. Look forward to it.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Okie doke. This is the Dow. The alert along with the S&P last night, right here, 26,720. Now you can see the market tried ever so hard to get back above the trigger so that I could say important prices, important areas are almost always tested, but it didn't quite get there. Swing high was 26,716. The swing low, 26,580. So this initial leg, that was good for 105 points. That's $5 per points what the or what the Dow pays. So, you know, $500 per contract traded. The Russell, these are last week's zones that you see on the chart. And last night, the Russell 1535. Which is right here. Actually, what time was that? Yeah, that's right. So the initial move down from 35 took us to 3130 and back above the trigger. And the next time it took us down to 2880 and back above the trigger. And the third time took us down to 2930. Once, actually, if you know, you see this one we dropped and came back in the same 30-minute candle. So you really have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the market may be about to hand us number 5. Is that unusual? Is that an anomaly? No, happens all the time. Not unusual to see one alert, whether it be Logic 247 or Concierge, trigger, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I've seen it trigger more. Okay. In Q. In Q. 77.46. That was right here. Let's see, the alerts came out. That alert came out. Oh, that wasn't a Concierge. That was a Logic. So in Q. So that was 7:37 p.m. Now that's my time, Pacific time. So that's going to be 10:30 Eastern, which is going to be 22:30 military time. So that's actually this candle right here. Very good. So that goes here and here. Okay, and the number again was 77.46. Okay, the first drop took us to 77.14 and a quarter. So that's about 30. It's $600 per contract traded. 30 points. InQ pays $20 a point. $600 per contract traded. Now that's if you know how to get out at the swing low or the swing high. I don't. If you do this and this and this, exit signal right there. Actually, it's on this candle that we're crossing over, and this is a short move, so the exit signal would actually be the close of this candle. 77, 27, 75. So call it 28. So 46 minus 28. That's 18 times $20 a point. So it's $360 per contract traded. That's at the exit signal. Do that again. 360. There we go. per contract traded. Now, we're not talking about a swing low or swing high, which can be a little nebulous. We're talking about this green candle closing above the step line after it crossed over. Okay, so from 46.28, there you have it. All right, then we get back above the trigger. This is where it gets good. From 46 down to, well, from 746 to 640. Basically, that's 100 points. Times $20 a point is $2,000 per contract traded. Now, we don't have an exit signal yet. So, that swing low, that $2,000 per contract plus, that's that nebulous kind of thing, right? It's real hard to get out there. There's a zone there? No. Okay. All right. You see price starting, it's at the red CFM. So if it crosses over, like it did up here, and then we print a green candle that closes above, then that's the exit signal. Okay. If you want to better understand how that works, what it looks like across all markets and time frames, just book a mentoring session and I'll be happy to cover it with you. Okay. And it brings us back here. Okay. So from the zone, price went to the zone. And from the zone, price went back to the zone. Price is always trying to get to a zone. We saw it in this session go from zone to zone to zone. Now, back up to the zone. Zone to zone to zone. Back up to the zone. Again, if you can determine, since we know, and you can come to know, that price is always trying to get to a zone, either the one overhead or below, using our indicators and the methodology that we teach, which is very simple. When you're able to know what the high probability move is next, in other words, is price heading to the zone overhead or the zone below? When you have a handle on that, and you can be on the same side of the street as the market, that's a really good thing. Okay, and I would just love an opportunity to show you how it all works. So do that. Book a mentoring session, or you can take this approach, or you can do both. That's not the one. Here we go. Are you trading in the zone? Okay. Or are you still searching for the Holy Grail? Now, most of us spent a lot of time and a lot of treasure searching for the Holy Grail. None of us found it. Some of us gave up. Others stuck it out. Some are still searching. Okay? Let me ask you this. How much time and treasure have you spent looking for that Holy Grail? More importantly, how much do you have left? Time and treasure. Now, 9 out of 10 traders, 9 out of 10 who are searching for the Holy Grail, 9 out of 10 have less money today than they did when they started searching. 10 out of 10 have less time. So again, how much have you spent? How much do you have left? I know everybody on the road to Wall Street has some silver bullet, some magic potion, some strong medicine that's going to just turn it all around for you. Let me ask you this. are they going to let you use their explain their methodology and use their methodology, indicators and all, for 5 days, absolutely free, no credit card required? If they're so confident that what they have is all that in a bag of chips, and it might be, I don't know, why won't they let you use it? Why won't they let you look behind the curtain? We do. We've got nothing to hide. We stand on that which we believe. You cannot know what will happen next. I know I can't convince anyone of that. You have to come to that realization yourself. And it'll probably happen in the middle of the night. And you wake up in a cold sweat. And you realize that all that time and all that treasure, it's gone, man. It's not coming back. Even Trump can't bring back time. It might help you put a little treasure in your pocket, but even he can't bring back time. And with each tick, each page we tear off that calendar, where are you headed? We want to help. We believe what we have can help. You may believe it, you may not. But you can find out for free. I don't know if it gets any better than that. I'm not saying we're the best there is. How would I know? All I'm saying is that what we have, what we use, what we teach and have for many years works for us. Works for a whole lot of CFRN partners and passport holders. Just might work for you. The fact that you can find out at no cost, it seems like a good deal. Check it out. EminiTradingSchool.com/apply. And when you get here, name, email, telephone, your biggest trading challenge. You can put something there if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay. We're just trying to open up some dialogue, right? That's what the marketing guys call it. You with me? Here we go. Are you tall enough to ride this ride? Get ready, Freddie. We got rejection here, right? Remember, only 3 things can happen. We got rejection here, and we just got rejected here. I bet you, whoever you are, I bet you even know what the next high probability move is. Let me teach you how to develop your own narrative. Okay? All right. It is time for our good word for the day. I'm going to give you 3 biblical rules for success, if that's okay. Joshua 1:8. Then you will be prosperous and successful. God told Joshua, the book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and you will have good success. Joshua 1:8. God views success as simple to achieve and equally simple for him to measure. If we are going to succeed in things that really matter, we must follow the instructions for life that we find in Scripture. Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. Look it up. The book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. In other words, like Carl Malden teaches, or used to, don't leave home without it. Success entails making the study of God's Word a constant part of your life. This may mean a radical change for you. In a survey commissioned by the Church of England in 2017, 55% of people who identify as Christian never read the Bible. Survey says 29% never pray. And 33% never go to church. Only 6% of adults in Britain said they were practicing Christians. The statistics are probably somewhat similar for America. It's not quite as dire. My wife and I noticed as we knelt and prayed in the Church of England, actually in Ireland, something's not quite right. And I guess that would be for each person to decide. France is quite proud that they are in the process of becoming a godless nation. Imagine, if you can, going to a doctor when you're sick and getting a prescription that can make you well. But you only take it once a month or when you feel like it. Would you blame the doctor if you didn't get well? Let me hit pause for a second. What I just said, imagine going to a doctor when you're sick, getting a prescription that can make you well, but you only take it once a month or whenever you feel like it. Would you blame the doctor for not getting well? Now, when it comes to trading and training, I can teach you everything that I believe you need to know. I can teach you everything that I know. Michael and I together will teach you everything that we know collectively. We have no control over what you do with that. Often I go to a mentoring session with someone and they'll say, okay, blah, 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 this happened. I go, okay. Well, what'd you do to cause that to happen? Well, blah, blah, blah. Why'd you do that? That's not what we teach. It's not how our methodology works. Why'd you do that? I don't know. It felt right. How does it feel now? We have to learn to deny our emotions. Sometimes we have to learn to deny our own best thinking so that we can simply do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it. Now, back to the doctor and the prescription. The doctor diagnoses you, prescribes your medication, but then it falls to you or your caretaker to make sure that you actually take that one pill 4 times a day, or whatever the prescription says. And people who don't get well don't recover. Yeah, that doctor is no good. He gave me some pills and they didn't even work. Did you take them? Oh, I took a few of them, but they made me feel funny. Well, I certainly wouldn't want you to take any pills that make you feel funny. Probably your doctor doesn't either. But that's where you have to communicate. Hey, doc, took those pills you gave me and I feel funny. And so the doctor laughs. And you say, no, I don't mean that kind of funny. You with me? Communication. It's important that you understand not only what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. It's really important that you actually do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it if you want to recover, if you want to climb out of this time and treasure hole that you might have dug yourself into. Now, some of us do the same thing with God. It's not just medicine, it's not just trading instructions. Sometimes we ask God, hey, God, why has this happened to me? I don't understand it. Would you say the medicine doesn't work? Not if you don't take it. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So friends, the word for you today is get into God's word and let it get into you. That's the good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.